and welcome back to Hadoop Exam Learning Resources. In this session, we will move ahead with the SES based programming as we have already installed our SES University Edition. So let me start with this SES University Edition. Just click on Oracle VirtualBox, select your VirtualBox and click Start. Okay, so it will start our University Edition. Okay, so here you can see it is getting loaded. Okay, so once it is loaded, then we can go to this URL. Okay, this is the URL. This should be available in the local host if we click on this. Okay, so you can see here, and now you click the SES studio here, so it will start the studio. Okay, and we'll go through the basic programming and basic understanding how SES works and kind of thing, so which is very important session. Okay, so now this is, you can see SES window is open. There are various windows actually, so there you will code over here, you will be writing your code over here. Okay, so this is editable window. Okay, so the whatever code you run it, and then log would be produced over here, results you can see here. So we'll do the hands-on, then you will get to know exactly what. And the two important things here from this left pane we can consider here is a whatever my folder is available would be shown here, and the libraries, the second part is the library. These two things is very important. So let's go to the PDF, and then this PDF I will be sharing with you again. Okay, so these are the topics which we will be covering here. So let's what we will be understanding in this importing, exporting raw files, creating and modifying SES data set, identifying, correcting. So across the various session we will cover this topic actually. Okay, so first we'll create a new folder. So how would you create a new folder? Just go here into the server files and folders section. Here you can see like this if you click on the properties, you can see where this location it is pointing. This is pointing to the my folders location which we have created. Okay, so let me first create the folder, then we'll go to the location. Okay, folder, and give the name to the folder as a Hadoop exam. Okay, so let's save it here, and you can see here properties here. So this is the properties of this folders. Okay, so let's go to the in the background where we have created my folder. So here you can see in the my folder we have not never created Hadoop exam. So now it is automatically created then empty folder which we have just created because of this my folder. Okay, now next let's move to the create a library. Okay, so library you can create it. So this library can be pointing to a particular folder where your data would be stored. So, okay, let me create first this folder library. Okay, so this is the statement whenever you want to create the library. What exactly is the library in the SES? Whatever data you would be creating permanently or temporarily would be stored in a library. So it's a collection of data set. Okay, so which can be understood by the SES. Okay, that is known as a SES library. So where this SES data would be stored, obviously somewhere in the folder on the disk would be stored this SES data set. So this is known as a library. Okay, in the SES, so whatever data you would be working upon is known as a library. If you're coming from other programming background, then it would be confusing, like data is data, that cannot be library. Library is a coding part, generally people say, correct, in other programming language. But in the SES, the data on which you will be working upon is known as a library. Okay, so collection of data is known as a library. So it's a data, it's not in a coding part. Okay, so that let's understand it. So this is the you would paste into the code section here. Okay, and what we are saying, the folder which we have created just now, this SES user is a library name. Okay, lib name is a statement from the SES which says like I want to create a library. The name of the library is a SES user. So this library already exists. If not exists, then it would be created here. So here you can see the libraries already exist. But what we want, whatever work we will be doing should be stored on this library. If I do something, then it should be stored in this folder. So this is the linkage between library and a folder. So this library is pointing to this location in the my operating system on the this. Okay, so if I run this, so this is actually running a SES program. So once you run it, you can see that you would become automatically into the log window. So log window has a various things like errors. You can see if there is any errors in future program, we will see like errors might be coming and we how to resolve this. Okay, so that would be printed here, but there is no errors. If there is any warning, then there is a warning would be printed. And there is a third portion is the notes, if there is any note. So here it is mentioning that one notes is present. What is one note? This is the blue color you can see it is a note here. So library reference SES user was successfully assigned as follows. So this is SES user is a library name which is assigned, what engine it has used, underline v9 engine of the SES it has used, and the physical name of the folder you can change if you want which engine. If you want older version of the SES, then you can change that engine, but right now we'll not go through this how to change and everything, and physical location where this library would be pointing here. Okay, so now this is the library. If I refresh it, I don't see anything right now, but here my folder is available, this Hadoop exam. Okay, this folder, so content is not there, correct? So we have just create a linkage between library and a location. Now there is no result, only log would be generated. Okay, so now let's move. In the background you can see a new folder has been created with the name of Hadoop exam in the shared folder as we have created. Now save this program with the following name, like Hadoop exam base.ses. You should save this program, because what happens, this linkage whenever you create new session, like you shut down your machine and everything and you want to work on next day, then this linkage would be removed. Actually it won't exist anymore. So as soon as you close your session, this linkage will be gone. So that's the reason you have to save this file. How would you save this? There's a control S button, you press it. Okay, and you can give any name to this program. So what I'll be doing, I would be storing as a base.ses program. Okay, Hadoop exam underscore base.ses program. So whenever, if in future if I wanted to, okay, okay, so the location it was asking me where to save it, so I'm saving it to the my folders. Okay, so now if I close this and if I double click and open it, so the SES program would be available. So whenever we would be like working on the next session, we have to execute this program. Okay, so there is a shortcut if you want to run this program. There is a, I think F3 is the shortcut to run this program. Okay, yes, there's a F3 button. If you press it, it will run the program whatever in here. If you want to create new window in the SES program, so just F4 you press it, so this would open a new window and you can write new program here. So here this is one window for writing one program and another window for writing another program. So here you can write something else you want it, correct? So parallelly you can have multiple programs. So as soon as you become more familiar with this environment, you'll get to know how to work on this. Okay, so we'll have to keep executing a statement whenever we are working the sample data. You have created a sample data to work on that. So now this is my SES program. Let me copy this SES program, okay, from here to here, and we'll go through across it. So I would use the F4 key to open a new programming window, and I'll press paste over here. Control A. If you see this is not looking good, so right click here, select entire program and click on the format code, so it will be properly format it. It's a readable format. You can see here now this is. So this is the program I will be explaining you in detail. Okay, so don't worry about if you don't understand in detail too much right now. So because there are a lot of sessions coming up in future, so which will make you the comfortable with this. So single statement can span across. So in the SES, the any line which end with the semicolons would be known as a SES statement. So this is a SES statement 1, this is SES statement, okay, because ending as a semicolon. This is another SES statement. These are all known as a statement. Okay, these are all. This run is also on a SES statement. This is a statement. Okay, this run is in a statement. So this is individual statement. What it's a single statement can span across many lines. So right now you can see like every line has a single statement, but what I want, my single statement has to be in multiple lines, so I can do this. This is still correct. This is known as a single statement. This two line represent a single statement, but still a across multiple lines, so it's a valid. Here even I can say, because I like this format. Okay, so this is across the 3 lines my statement is there, so still this is a valid statement because it start here and with the semicolon here. So until and unless it find a semicolon, it won't end the statement. So this is the statement which start from here and end with the semicolon. This is the statement start with the data and end with the semicolon. This is single statement. Okay, this is single statement in a single line, this statement in the 3 lines. So this is the statement. Okay, blank and special characters separate the words in SES. So these are the like these are the blanks if you want to separate out the words. So don't worry about what this dollar represent right now, but this represent the space is a any like it's a normal thing. Okay, SES statements are not case sensitive. So like if I want to write data here in capital, I can write it down. So it's a case sensitive, but only SES specific things are case sensitive. Anything which is inside the single quote and double quote can be a case sensitive. This is the path, but that is okay, it is not case sensitive, but there are some things like some characters or strings name. Okay, so you things write things in the double quote that can be a case sensitive, but that is okay. If you here you can mention it, this is an id, so this is not a case sensitive. Anything which you put into the double quote and single quote can be a case sensitive. So you'll again come across the situation, then I'll tell you in detail again. So says statement always begin with the says keyword. So here this data is a keyword, libname is a keyword, infile is a keyword, input is a keyword, run is a keyword, proc is a keyword. So these are all statements which start with the keyword, that is known as says statement. There are various type of says statements, like there are two types of statements. Okay, one is a statements which are in the data steps and proc steps. First understand the step. Okay, so there are two steps in says programming. Whenever you work, you will always find only two steps. Like one is a data step, always your program would have data step and proc step. Remember this thing, there would be, this is known as step, so this cover this entire thing. This is known as a data step, this is known as a proc step. Okay, says has a two step, data step and proc step. Remember this thing. Okay, so let me again select all, right click, format code, so it would proper formatting. So this is the one data step and this is a proc. It is possible you could have in a single program multiple data step and proc step. Like I could have multiple data step, yeah, like this, so that is valid, there is no issue. Okay, but generally there is a program will have a data step and proc step. You can have even multiple proc step in a single program, that is fine. It is, this is a still valid program, there is no issue. You can have as many as proc statement steps, as many as data step as you want it. Okay, now let's move to the next part. Statements in this, there are two types of statement. Once the statement which are inside the data step and proc step. So these are the statement inside the data step, this is also inside data step, this is the statement inside the proc statement. You could have any statement, so this is a statement inside this. And another statement is a global statement which are not part of the your data step and proc step, that is known as a global statement. So this is the global statement. Here libname, this is not nowhere, it is a part of the, not a data step, not a proc step, correct? So that's the reason this is known as a global step. So this kind of various kind of global step, libname, options, title, footnote, etc. are the remain active until your session close. So as soon as you close the session, this global statement has gone. So that's the reason I told you save this part, we need whenever we start a new session, because this is a global statement. As soon as you close the session, this statement will be no more valid. Okay, so you have to run it again. So says dataset, it is a data formatted such that it understood by SAS. Okay, I'll come back to this point. Okay, so this creating the dataset which only SAS can understand, nobody else can understand. Okay, data step, this is used to create and modify the data. Okay, so this is the data step. So generally let's remove this, we don't need this multiple as of now. Okay, remove this. Okay, clear the steps. So data step, this is the data step. Okay, what is the purpose? This is used to create and modify the data. You can use raw or SAS dataset here. Okay, and data step will generate the output which can be report or SAS dataset. Using the data step you can, okay, let me tell you this, you can I'm reading this file here, okay, which is comma separated file, and creating a new SAS dataset. What is the name of the dataset? Is the work.prices. Okay, this is the dataset name. Okay, so put your data into the SAS dataset. You can use this data, do any mathematical things, you computation you want to do, you can do in the data step. Edit, correct your dataset. If you want to edit it, correct it, you can do this. You can generate a new dataset out of existing dataset. So this is my physical copy of the dataset. I wanted to generate new dataset, I can do this. Okay, so let me run this program. Okay, so how libname, let's remove this, which we have already done this. Okay, so now what I'll be doing here, okay, Hadoop exam 101.csv file. First, this file should exist on this folder, correct? So let me go here, this Hadoop exam, we don't have this file now, so I'll be sharing this file with you as well. So I have this file, let me copy this file and put it over here in this folder. Okay, in the Hadoop exam, open it, and this is a CSV file. So this is a comma separated file which has 4 field. First we name is a ID field, which is identifier. Second field is a date. Okay, third field is a course name. Okay, and last field is a fee of this training course. Okay, this is the my data which contains 10 records. Let's remove this 11th line, we don't need, this is empty line. Okay, now what I told says, this is my file. Okay, this is known as infile statement. This is my file location. So if you wanted to know what is my file path, just refresh it first. This file is available here. Now right click properties. If you don't know how to get the path, so you just copy paste this path and use this. So this is the same path which you can see, my folder, my folders, my folder, Hadoop exam dot 101.csv file, correct, and close this. And this data is delimited by comma. Okay, the data which you have, and I want to give the name to my the field which are in this data set. First field I want to give name as an ID, second field name I want to give as a date, third field I want to give name as a course name, and fourth as a fee. Now here date is an, we wanted to say load is any string which is numeric. You don't provide any dollar sign after that, but this is not numeric. Like here you can see date is not a numeric, this contains the character value. Hadoop is a contain character value, so these are the string characters. Okay, so we would be providing dollar sign behind that. So date would be loaded as a string, course would be loaded as a string here. Okay, but fee is a numeric variable, so we don't have to provide any dollar sign. ID is a numeric variable, so we don't have to provide. So let me run this part. Okay, what we are saying, this is my file, comma separated file. This has 4 fields. Name I have given the field name, and whatever you have in this file, create a new SAS dataset which is understood by SAS, and the name of this dataset would be prices. Okay, this name of this dataset would be prices. Okay, so let's load it here. Okay, so now before that, let's go to the library. This is work library, this is the temporary library. This library doesn't contain anything as of now, correct? So what I want, this prices should dataset should be created under the work library. That's the reason I have given work as a name of the library. In this library, create the dataset with this name. Okay, so let's run this. Here this is the main. F3 you can use it, or you can just click on this running main. So run this program. Okay, so now you can see this dataset prices have been loaded here in the work library. Okay, and this is the data. So this is the same data which we have here would be loaded here. So here you can see this is the 10 records here, the dates are loaded, course name is loaded, and fee is loaded, correct? So this is the dataset which we have loaded in this data, correct? Okay, so now this is the log. What log says, there is no error, there is no warning, there is a notes, 4 note. This is says this is the input file is, this is the name of the file. Okay, owner of the file is root user, group name is this. Okay, don't worry if you don't understand right now. Permissions, okay, when this file was last modified, 22nd January, file size 46. This is first note. Note 2 says 10 records were read from the file, correct? We were having 10 records, correct, from this file. The minimum record length is 19 character. Okay, minimum length you can see here, I believe this is here 20 character it is showing. Okay, so as per, okay, so this is 19 character. Okay, here you can see selection 19 character, this is the minimum length. And what is it says, maximum length of this record is 32 characters. So this is the maximum length, this is 32 character, here you can see, correct. The dataset work.prices is 10 observation and 4 variables, 1 2 3 and 4 variables, correct. So what exactly here the variable means, output data. This is all the columns are known as a variable name. Okay, these are all, there are 4 columns, so 4 variable names, and 10 records would be created. So that is known as 10 observation has been created, correct. So that is the same information the printed by this. Okay, so in the second one, the data set work.prices has 10 observation and 4 variables, correct. Data statement used, total process time, real time it took only 0.01 second, but CPU took this 0.02 seconds. Okay, so that is what the information if you want to read about whenever you are working on the data set. Okay, and this is the output data would be generated. There is nothing in the result right now. Okay, so this is the data which we have to. Now next part in our program here. Okay, so this is my program code here. We have not saved this program, so that's the reason it is showing star over here. Okay, this is the star. Now let's run the another step, that is a proc step. In the proc step, what we want, print this data as a report. I want to generate a report out of this. And what is the data? This is the data equal to, we have to give this the data name. So this is the data now which requires SAS data set. Okay, whatever we have created, which only the data which generated here would be used here. SAS dataset can be used to generate the report, and we say print it. So you need this run statement. Okay, if you don't have run, then it won't run it. Okay, So this is the run, and you can see there is a beautiful report has been created over here. So this is the same data set, but in the proper format it would have been created. Okay, so now I don't want this observation column, how to remove it. I want to name the header, change the name header. I want to give the name title to this report. How to do this? So there's a various things available to do this thing. So I can give here, I think, title here, and if you press, as soon as you start typing it and you press control space, it will give you the hint what you want to type it, if you don't know the spelling or what available options kind of thing in the says. So here title, this is my first program. So this is a statement. Let's end with the semicolon. I can select this portion here and run it again. So here you can see this is my first program. You can see title coming up. How to remove this observation, I'll tell you later on. Okay, don't worry right now. Okay, so now we have executed program. So data step which we have used to modify this proc step, generate the report, do the descriptive statistics. If we want to do this, we can do this in this session. Create a summary report, okay, and produce the plots and chart. If you want to do this, then it's also can do that. And processing the SAS program. As soon as data and proc step is found, it is considered as a new step. Okay, so if you run entire program together, this is possible, correct? This will generate this. So as soon as new step or data or proc statement is found in the running the program, it will consider the new step has started. Okay, so because data and proc are steps, as I told you, if it finds the run or quit statement, it means it is the step boundaries. Like this is the run statement, means like my step ends over here, data step ends here. Proc means this is just starting the new steps. Run here is again end of the step. Okay, log message, you will see various logs in the different colors as we have seen here. Okay, now another example of proc frequency statement, it will be generated. Okay, let me check how much time it has done. Okay, so this we have already done like 25 minutes, so let's break the sessions to in a smaller part so you won't get bored or something. So I'm stopping here, and we'll cover in the next second part of this session remaining from here. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I hope you like this session. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe it, and also don't forget to visit hadoopexam.com, where there we are providing various Hadoop certification preparation materials. There's SAS certification preparation material. So right now you can see base SAS we have 490 questions here. So it's advanced 365 questions, says for clinic statistical for 86 questions, and various material. Even for this, with this you can find study material as well, and soon we will be launching the basis training. So keep watching and keep going through this hadoopexam.com. There are various training materials we are providing, and certification preparation material providing. We have more than like 30,000 subscribers as of now. Okay, so you can check even testimonials, how people are clearing the certification, various certification. So thanks for watching it, and I hope you like this session. Okay, so let's continue in the next session, remaining part. Thank you.